Tungaloosh and welcome. My name's Wes, and this is Addicted to Adventure, your base camp to explore the treasures and mysteries of the adventure genre. Today we're talking about National Treasure Edge of History, Episode 8. And boy, what an episode. As always, there will be spoilers, so consider yourself warned. We begin right where the last episode left off, with Billy talking to Raphael in prison.
I knew I wasn't going to find the real Salazar here, but I had no idea I would find my brother's killer.
What?
Raphael denies killing Billy's brother Sebastian and says that the real Salazar murdered him, but Billy doesn't believe him. She believes that Raphael either found the third relic or knows where it is. She threatens to kill Jess if Raphael doesn't reveal what he knows. He refuses. I have to hand it to him. He really does stand by his belief that the treasure is more important than anybody. In Mexico City, Jess and the crew are seriously discussing breaking Jess's dad out of prison. Surprisingly, everyone is on board but Sneakers, who leaves to return to the U.S. However, before he goes, he casually tells the group how to pull off the prison break.
I was thinking, like Katrina, when prisons flooded, it led to prison reform. Now a flood leads right into automatic drainage ducts. America finally caught up to the international standard. Feels very relevant now. Well, good luck.
Boy golly, I sure am glad a third world backwater like the United States could finally catch up to a place like Mexico. Back in Louisiana, Liam and Miles hatch a plan to gain access to Billy's tracking network in the hopes of finding out where Jess is. In prison, Raphael unexpectedly gets a new pair of shoes delivered to his cell. Gee, I wonder if that could be relevant later. It's a good thing our antagonist doesn't have a known tendency to bug shoes. Tasha hacks into the prison drainage system, which will allow Jess 10 minutes to get into the prison, find her dad, and get back out. A pretty young girl breaking into a prison. What could go wrong? Also, does 10 minutes not seem like enough time to you? Yeah, me neither. Jess enters the prison through the showers, which are miraculously empty, and continues into the cell block, also astonishingly empty, and finds Daddy Salazar's cell, all without being spotted by anyone. And the cell door is sitting open.
It's a Festivus miracle!
Jess approaches the bed and tries to wake Raphael to find that he's used pillows as a decoy. Jess hears a guard approaching and hides in the bed. The guard notices the open cell door and investigates, pulling back the covers to reveal Jess, just as Raphael appears out of thin air and chokes out the guard. I'm sure a prison built to such lofty international standards has cells that don't allow prisoners a place to hide. So given that, where the hell does Raphael come from? We don't know. They never explain it.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? What are you doing?
Billy was gonna kill you. I broke in to save you.
No, Billy was gonna kill you. I was breaking out to save you.
This is the most unplanned, poorly conceived prison break of all time. If you're going to break someone out of prison, doesn't it seem like a good first step to let the prisoner know? Also, I feel like the reason most prison breaks take place at night is because you probably know where the prisoner is going to be, in his cell. During the day, he could be out in the yard exercising or making license plates for all you know. Jess's 10-minute window has expired, so they're forced to use Raphael's plan to escape the prison. They proceed back through the conveniently empty prison to the laundry room, which is also completely empty, where Raphael uncovers a hole in the wall. The hole opens into an old abandoned wing of the prison, inhabited only by rats.
Don't be afraid. It's just rats.
No, I'm not afraid. I had a pet rat as a kid.
No, prison rats are not like that. Hope you have all your shots.
You just told me not to be afraid.
I was just trying to be a good dad.
Geez, guys, they're not ROUSs. You act like you're in the catacombs beneath Venice.
Oh, rats.
They climb through a duct and out into the prison yard, where the only remaining obstacles are the perimeter fence and a sniper in the observation tower.
You run, you cut the fence. I'll blind the sniper when he tries to shoot you.
You'll blind the sniper as he tries to shoot me?
It's a good plan, no?
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
This is also when the guard wakes up in Daddy Salazar's cell. Jess and Raphael argue for a bit until the alarm sounds. With no time to waste, Jess runs towards the fence. Jess behind the barrels that are conveniently by the perimeter fence, the guard turns his sights to Raphael. The glare from his mirror keeps him from getting shot, but the bullet hits near enough to make him flinch and drop the mirror, which shatters. Without any means of defense, he kneels, apparently surrendering, and waits to be shot. Except when a shot rings out, it's the guard who falls. Raphael runs like a madman for the fence.
Get the fence! It's time! Get the fence!
Just as they cut the fence, Ethan and Tasha pull up in Oren's van and they all speed off.
Okay, I don't understand. If you didn't shoot the sniper, then who did?
I didn't shoot anybody. I don't know.
Wait, who are you two?
Raphael, these are my friends, Tasha and Ethan.
They helped you break me out of prison?
Yes.
You have good friends.
I guess I have to agree with him on that one. Raphael tells him he knows exactly where to go and guides them into the desert. Sneakers arrives back at his apartment in Baton Rouge. Worried about his friends, he tries to call Tasha, but she doesn't answer.
Come on, Tosh. I just want to make sure you guys are safe.
Safe from what?
Who are you?
Agent Ross is looking for the rest of the crew. Sneakers doesn't tell her where they are, but he isn't a convincing liar either. She sees the luggage tag on his bag marked Mexico, but ultimately she leaves frustrated and empty-handed. At Sadusky's house, Miles is waiting for Dario and henchman number 2 to arrive. He tells them that Liam is still alive.
Liam Sadusky's alive. It's impossible. Casey took him up. Figured you'd want to question him. I've got him tied up inside.
Henchman number 2 waits outside while Dario goes inside with Miles.
Should have left town when we had the chance. But now... You're gonna have to answer a couple of questions.
Miles injects Dario in the neck with something.
He brought a friend, so we gotta hurry.
Secure the gun, secure the gun. Someone please secure the gun. Okay, here's an important life lesson. When you subdue a bad guy, your first order of business should be to secure his gun. This has been Life Lessons with Uncle Wes. While they're tying up Dario, Miles takes his phone. Liam notices the phone screen says Cras est nostrum, and he remembers the phrase. While Miles uses Dario's phone to access Billy's tracking software, Liam digs through his grandfather's mail and finds the book marked Cras est nostrum from several episodes ago. Miles accesses the tracking network. They can't find Jess, but they do find She-Hulk, who never leaves Billy's side, in Mexico City. Agent Ross reports to her boss that she thinks Jess is in Mexico City. Agent Hendricks starts the extradition paperwork, but Agent Ross still has doubts about Jess's guilt. Somewhere in the Mexican desert, Ethan and Tasha part ways with Jess and Raphael, trying to return to the U.S. before they can be implicated in the prison break. Jess and her dad aren't U.S. citizens, so they're going to meet a contact who can sneak them into the U.S. illegally. Before they can meet the contact, Jess's dad says they need to retrieve his book, a book only he and Jess's mother knew existed.
This.
The Grail Diary.
Outside the Sadusky residence, henchman number 2 is becoming restless. Inside, Liam and Miles discover that Billy was tracking Liam's father for years before he died, and the tracking data places him nowhere near the place where he supposedly drowned. In Mexico, She-Hulk sees that Dario's logged into the tracking system and has accessed the Sadusky file. Billy calls Dario's phone, and Liam answers.
Liam Sadusky.
I threw him in the river. He should be dead.
But when you kill someone by chopping off their head, rolling them up in a carpet and burning it, you better make sure they're dead.
I know you killed my grandpa, and I'm pretty sure you killed my dad, and I'm coming for you.
Your father tried that once. Didn't turn out so well.
Miles grabs the phone from Liam and smashes it, fearing they're being tracked. Henchman number 2 enters, looking for Dario, who's been moved into the secret room, while Liam and Miles hide. When the henchman enters the secret room, they scramble to shut the door and lock him in. Miles is hit by the gunfire and dies. Liam grabs the Cras est nostrum book and leaves through the window just as Billy's team of enforcers arrives. In Mexico, Jess and Raphael arrive at an ancient CGI tree. Raphael explains that the tree is considered sacred and is always protected, and that's where he hid his Grail diary. Jess assembles the pieces of the puzzle boxes into the map to show her father. Using his Grail diary, they determine that the X on the map does not mark the spot.
See that tree with an X?
X marks the spot, I know, but where?
No, it does not mark the spot.
An X never, ever marks the spot.
Instead, the X is an ancient Mayan symbol for the sky, meaning the map is actually a star chart.
The daughters of the plumed serpent are showing us the locations of the treasure with the constellations. The river is the Milky Way, and all these dots are the stars. The Big Dipper,
Orion's belt?
Ursa Minor. They're reference points.
Yes.
What is this, a shared delusion? Remember, this is taking place in the middle of the day. Do you know what you can't see in broad daylight? The stars. This is another scene that would have been fixed pretty simply by just having it take place at night. Then you don't have to assume that they're both on an acid trip for it to make sense. And yes, I know I'm being nitpicky here, but I remember enough about astronomy to know that the Big Dipper and Little Dipper are not in the same part of the sky as Orion. Jess uses an astronomy app to try and make sense of the map, but it needs more points of reference than the 3 constellations. With the help of the Grail diary, they determine that one of the stars on the map is actually Venus. With Venus as a 4th point of reference, the app points her to a swamp near the Mississippi River. This feels like such a missed opportunity. It's like they used up all the good problem solving in the last episode. With this, Jess just basically punches information into an app, and the app spits out the next location. It's boring and unsatisfying. And if you're going to use a magic app for plot convenience, maybe at least make them work for part of it. Maybe you just have it spit out a longitude and then have them have to figure out what the latitude is, something like that. While Jess and Raphael are discussing the swamp, a car arrives and Jerry Garcia gets out.
I'm not here to hurt you.
You work for Salazar.
No, I don't. Salazar, who's I'm trying to stop.
Well, you know where Salazar is?
Yeah, no. I mean, he's everywhere, all the time. It's not just one man. The name Salazar is a mantle. The leader of a group of treasure hunters over time dating back to ancient Egypt. You need to stop searching for the treasure. You were going to lead them right to it.
Yeah, Salazar sounds like an Egyptian name to me. While Jerry Garcia is trying to convince Jess and Raphael, he is shot in the chest from out of nowhere by She-Hulk. We got quite the body count this episode. And She-Hulk making a dead center shot hanging out the window of a moving vehicle. Do you realize how difficult a shot that is to make? I mean, I assume. I've never tried that myself. That would be unlawful. 3 of Billy's SUVs converge on the CGI tree. Raphael tells Jess to run with the treasure map, but he's captured immediately. Billy demands the map or she'll have Raphael killed. She tells him that their prison escape only worked because Billy paid off the guards. She also reveals that Casey was the one that shot the prison sniper. After a moment of consideration, Jess surrenders to Billy and turns over the relics. The last shot shows Jess and Raphael being escorted from beneath the CGI tree to Billy's waiting vehicles. This is possibly the stupidest prison break of all time. Ernest Goes to Jail had a better prison break than this. Jess has 10 minutes to get in, grab her dad, and get back out again. And the only real tension I felt was that she wasn't hurrying enough. In fact, it might be more accurate to call it frustration rather than tension. The map being revealed to be a star chart instead of a map of the land, like so many other things in this show, I just don't think it's as cool as the showrunners seem to think it is. Look, I'm really not trying to beat up on this show. I think they're actually trying. I just think their ideas are crap. Over the last week, I watched a couple of other shows. Blood and Treasure, which just finished its 2nd season. And then I watched one called Veritas the Quest, which was canceled after 4 episodes. And both of those shows blow this show out of the water. In fact, I made a list of every adventure show I could think of. And I'll be honest, I think every single thing on this list is better than this show. Don't worry, there will be episodes on these. I know there are people out there who are enjoying this show, and I sincerely wish I was one of them. If you are one of those people, I'd still like to hear what you have to say about it. I was born in the 80s when we could disagree about things and still be friends. As it is, I'm considering lowering my grade for the show again, although at this point I don't know if I even care about that. That's all I have for today. If you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And until next time, fortune and glory, my friends.